Hello there everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Weekly Bricks, and welcome back to another LEGO video. Now today I'm going to be doing a tier list ranking of all 18 minifigures from the 2023 LEGO Disney 100 CMF series. LEGO released this series back in May as one of the many ways they are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company, and it includes some of the most iconic characters in the past 100 years, starting with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit going all the way up through Coco. My goal is to gain at least one new subscriber every day, and a majority of you who watch my videos are not subscribed, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you want to see more LEGO content like this. But now, let's get started. So this is how the tier list is going to work. It goes from S tier at the top all the way through F tier at the bottom. F tier means they're so bad that they should have never been in the series. D tier means that they're pretty bad. C tier means that they're okay. B tier means they're pretty good. A tier means they're nearly perfect. And S tier means that they couldn't have made the minifigure any better. As well, I'm going to be ranking the minifigures inside each tier, meaning that I will put them in order of who's better and who's worse. Now, with that out of the way, let's start ranking these minifigures. We're going to be going in chronological order of the characters, starting with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. This character debuted back in 1928, making him the first cartoon character of the company. The simple design of the character is represented perfectly here in his minifigure. He has a clapperboard as an accessory, which is the only flaw with this minifigure. It's only a print on a 1x2 tile, so it can't actually clap down like a real clapperboard. While that is a little disappointing, the minifigure itself is perfect, but since his accessory is a little underwhelming, I'm going to put him in the A tier. Next is the Evil Queen from 1937's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This movie was the first full-length animated film ever made, and she is the first official Disney villain. LEGO did not disappoint with this minifigure. She is definitely one of my favorites from this series. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any back dress printing, but none of the characters with this piece in this series have printing here, so I'm glad they stayed consistent with that. Her accessory is the magic mirror, and the printed detail on that shield piece is incredible. Despite the lack of printing on the back of the dress, I'm putting this minifigure in the S tier since she looks perfect. Next up are Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket from 1940's Pinocchio. These two are some of the most recognizable Disney characters, and their cartoony designs translate well into LEGO form. Pinocchio has a new piece for his hat and hair, as well as a new piece for his head. I'm glad they made a new piece to incorporate his growing nose. Jiminy has a new piece for his top hat, which will be used again later in this series. Pinocchio's accessory is a fishbowl with Cleo inside, and Jiminy's accessory is his iconic umbrella. I'm putting both of these minifigures in A tier because despite not being perfect, they're still some of the better minifigures in this series. Next is Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey Mouse from 1940's Fantasia. This is one of Disney's more you either love it or hate it type movies, but this is by far his most iconic outfit. He has a brand new molded head, which includes Yen Sid's wizard hat with fantastic printing. This minifigure has so much detail just on his legs alone, such as side leg printing, foot printing, and dual molded legs. His accessories are the broom and bucket, which he makes come alive, and the broom is using a newer broom piece introduced for Harry Potter last year. This minifigure is definitely going in the S tier in first place. He's definitely my favorite minifigure of the whole series. Next up is Queen of Hearts from 1951's Alice in Wonderland. Despite not being as popular as some of the other Disney villains, she truly is an intimidating character. Her minifigure has a brand new hairpiece with her tiny crown and black hair tied up in a fancy bun. The minifigure that I got of her has some red misprinting in her hair, but that won't affect her ranking since it's just a manufacturing mistake. Her printing is all around quite cartoony, especially on her face, which manages to capture her childish personality. Her accessory is her Scepter of Hearts, which is a simple but effective two-piece build. She isn't the most exciting minifigure to get, but LEGO did quite a good job with her, so I'm putting her in A tier. Next is Princess Aurora from 1959's Sleeping Beauty. She's one of the less talked about Disney princesses, but it is fantastic to get her here in minifigure form. Her new hairpiece is perfect for her and even includes a small hole at the top to attach her tiara. Her face print depicts her two most iconic facial expressions, her big smile and her sleeping face. Her torso and dress printing is pretty detailed, even including some sparkles as well as some arm printing. Her accessory is an owl, which includes a new cartoony print. I kind of wish she included her spinning wheel as an accessory instead, which is the main reason I'm putting her in B tier, but I still think that LEGO did a great job with her minifigure. Next up is Cruella de Vil from 1961's 101 Dalmatians. She's one of the most recognizable Disney villains, so she definitely deserves to be here. She has a brand new hairpiece with her earrings molded in, which depicts her crazy black and white hairstyle. She has fur printing pretty much everywhere, even on her new fur coat piece, whom she shares with another minifigure in this series. Her accessories are her purse, which is a printed tile, as well as Patch the Dalmatian, who is a new dog piece with adorable printing. LEGO definitely did this iconic villain justice. My only complaint is that the new fur coat piece doesn't really show how big her coat is like in the movie, but I'm still putting her in A tier. Next are Robin Hood and Prince John from 1973's Robin Hood. This is definitely an underrated Disney movie, and I'm glad that LEGO included them in this series. They both have new head molds with incredible detail on them, and Robin Hood's hat even has a hole to put his feather in. As well, their torso and leg printing is pretty fantastic. Robin Hood has a tail, and Prince John has the same fur coat piece used for Cruella. Robin's accessory is his bow and arrow, and John's accessories are a bag of coins as well as a coin print. Prince John is personally my least favorite minifigure in this series. His accessories are nothing special or new, and despite having awesome torso and leg printing, his crown doesn't have any of the jewels printed on it from the movie. I'm putting Robin Hood in A tier, but unfortunately Prince John is going in C tier. Next up is Pocahontas from 1995's Pocahontas. This is a more controversial Disney movie, so it's pretty interesting that LEGO made her into a minifigure here. She has a brand new hairpiece which depicts her iconic hair flowing in the wind, and one of her accessories ties in with that, which are the autumn leaves blowing around her, the colors of the wind. Her printing is very detailed, including side arm and side leg printing. Her other accessory is her compass, which is a new print. I feel like her big smile doesn't really depict the character well, but I like her other facial expression with a softer smile. Overall, this minifigure is going in A tier, pretty phenomenal for what we're getting here. Next is Mulan from 1998's Mulan. While being a more popular character than Pocahontas, I think that this minifigure isn't quite as good. She's using the same rubbery hairpiece that she uses in the Disney Princess theme, but has a new face print, which I think shows her personality pretty well. Her torso and leg printing are very detailed and even has some feet printing. Her accessories are her sword and Cricky, and that is my biggest gripe with this minifigure. They really should have included Mushu instead of Cricky. Since Mushu is absent and Mulan doesn't have any new pieces, I'm putting her in B tier. Next up is Stitch 626 from 2002's Lilo and Stitch. This movie is one of the more popular recent movies, especially in terms of merchandising. He uses the same head mold from the 2016 Disney CMF series with slightly different printing, which unfortunately isn't very accurate for this version of the character. He's supposed to have antenna on his head, but I understand that they just wanted to reuse the same mold. He is officially the second minifigure ever to have 4 arms like this, the first being Rio Durant from Star Wars back in 2018. His printing is overall pretty simplistic, but it gets the job done, and his accessories are 2 of his ray guns. Honestly, I wish this was someone else instead of him in this series, but he's still a pretty great minifigure, so I'll put him in B tier. Next are Princess Tiana and Dr. Facilier from 2009's The Princess and the Frog. This was Disney's last 2D animated movie before fully diving into the 3D world of animation, and it's personally one of my favorite Disney princess movies. Tiana has a new hairpiece, which has a hole to fit her tiara, and Facilier uses the same new top hat piece as Jiminy Cricket. LEGO's color palette works exceptionally well for these minifigures. Both of them are using the newer medium brown skin color, which works really well, and Tiana's dress is beautiful with those softer greens and yellows, and of course the printing as well. Facilier has some awesome printing as well, and his crooked evil smile is represented very well here. Tiana's accessories are Prince Naveen in his frog form, as well as a poster for her restaurant, Tiana's Place, and Facilier's accessories are his cane staff and one of his tarot cards. Both of these minifigures are going in S tier. LEGO did such a fantastic job with them. Next up is Baymax from 2014's Big Hero 6. This movie is one of my favorites from the more recent Disney animation. However, I don't know if he was a good choice for this series. He has a simple face print with just his eyes, and his torso and legs have surprising amounts of detail with accents of dark gray. He has new molds for his arms, which are longer than the average minifigure arm. His accessory is his charging station, which he can stand in. Baymax definitely would have worked better as a hybrid big fig, such as Axel from Nexo Knights, since his minifigure doesn't really capture his roundness and innocence. He's certainly not a terrible minifigure, but is still one of my least favorite, which is why I'm putting him in C tier, right above Prince John. The last two minifigures are Miguel Rivera and Ernesto de la Cruz from 2017's Coco. Unfortunately, these are the only two Pixar characters in the whole series. Miguel has two different heads, each with two facial expressions. His first one is his skeleton face print, which includes a newer hood piece to go with it. His other one is his normal face with his iconic dimple and simple hairpiece. Ernesto has a whole new piece for his hair and sombrero, which looks phenomenal. Miguel has mid-legs and a surprising amount of detail on his hoodie, and Ernesto has detail in every possible area of his minifigure, all the way from his sombrero down to his feet, and even on his exclusive guitar piece, which is his accessory. Miguel's accessories are his guitar as well as Dante. He looks adorable, however, I wish he was a new mold. Miguel is going in A tier, but Ernesto is going in S tier. Both of these minifigures are incredible, but Ernesto is next level awesomeness. That is my tier list ranking for all 18 Disney 100 CMF minifigures. Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey Mouse is the best, and Prince John is the worst. Thankfully, no minifigures ended up in the D or F tiers. Remember that this ranking is just my opinion, and you are welcome to let me know your ranking in the comments. Just remember to be civil about it. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to leave a like on this video and comment down below what you thought of it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell for more LEGO content like this. Don't forget to take care of yourself and have a great rest of your day, fellow brickers. Peace out.